Hello students, a very warm welcome to your class 11th. Well, I'll take your chemistry part, and in that I'm going to teach you the second chapter of your textbook, that is structure of atom. But as far as structure of atom is concerned, there are different concepts in that. We have different concepts which are tied together and we get that chapter. Out of those concepts, like we have quantum concept, in that we have quantum numbers, we have wave mechanical model, we have spectrum also. So I'm going to teach you something about spectrum. See, as far as structure of atom and this spectrum is concerned, they are quite integrated. Most of you know a basic equation. You might have come across this equation, E equal to mc square. ज़्यादातर बच्चों को ये पता होता है. So when I talk about E equal to mc square, quite a famous equation. You know that m stands for mass and E stands for energy. If I say m stands for mass, that means there is matter. Matter means atom. And if I say E stands for energy, that means there is electromagnetic energy, electromagnetic waves. So if I talk about energy, electromagnetic spectrum or electromagnetic waves and atom, they are integrated. They are quite a bit same. All atoms of this universe, they have a tendency of absorbing energy and then re-emitting that energy in the form of electromagnetic radiation. I'll give you one example. Say you take an iron rod. You put that iron rod on a burner. It will gain energy, heat energy from that burner. Now if you take out this iron rod, you bring it close to your face, you can feel the radiation coming out. You cannot see that radiation which is coming out because it is infrared, it is beyond the visible region. So you cannot see that radiation, that is infrared radiation, but you can easily feel it. If you bring it close to your face, you can feel it. This infrared radiation itself is an electromagnetic radiation. So all atoms of this universe, they have a tendency of absorbing energy and then re-emitting energy. My dear students, you are quite aware of greenhouse effect, global warming, what we say. See, the ultraviolet radiation from sun comes to earth. The earth gets warmer. It absorbs that radiation. So atoms in this earth has a tendency of absorbing that radiation. They get warmer by absorbing that ultraviolet radiation coming from sun. And in the night what happens, this planet earth, it re-emits that radiation. It radiates it back in the form of infrared radiation. So it absorbs ultraviolet, it re-emits infrared. Greenhouse gases are transparent. Greenhouse gases like CO2, SO2, they are transparent to ultraviolet radiation. They allow the ultraviolet radiation to come, but it does not allow the infrared radiation to go. It does not allow that. So the heat gets trapped in the atmosphere. The temperature of the earth increases. Glaciers, they start melting. The oceanic level increases. This is what global warming is. Anyways, my point of concern is, from here it is quite evident that atoms, they have a tendency of absorbing and then re-emitting energy. How it happens, why it happens, we'll study about that also. But later on, first we'll see what this energy is, in what form this energy is. Well, here in structure of atom, the energy is always in the form of electromagnetic waves. What are these electromagnetic waves? If I talk about an electromagnetic wave consists of two waves, the electrical wave and the magnetic wave. Now suppose this is the direction in which the wave is traveling. You have two waves. One of the wave is moving like this. Say this is electrical wave. You'll have another wave perpendicular to this and moving along with this electrical wave. I'm shading it so that it becomes easier for you to understand. So this shaded one is magnetic wave. So if I talk about electromagnetic wave consists of two waves, that is electrical wave and magnetic wave, which move perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation. Here also you can see two waves. Suppose the blue one, if we consider the blue one as magnetic wave and the red one as electrical wave. So both of them, they are traveling perpendicular to each other. They are at 90 degree to each other. And they are at 90 degree to the direction of propagation, the direction in which they are traveling. So if I talk about an electromagnetic wave consists of two waves, that is electrical wave and magnetic wave, which travel together perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation. They are perpendicular to the direction of propagation. So this is what an electromagnetic wave is. If we talk about the speed of electromagnetic wave, as far electromagnetic wave is concerned, you have different type of electromagnetic waves. I'll teach you that also. I'll show you electromagnetic spectrum. This electromagnetic wave, which consists of electrical and magnetic wave moving perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation, does not need any medium to travel. They can travel in vacuum. So here if you see, this say is electrical wave, this say is magnetic wave, and this is the direction in which they are moving. They are perpendicular to each other. Electromagnetic waves does not need any medium to travel. That's why these electromagnetic waves can travel in space. They can travel large distances. The velocity of all electromagnetic waves is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. It is actually 2.88 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. But we round it off and we write 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. So all electromagnetic waves, they move with this velocity. That is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Most of you know that this is the velocity of light. Well, light is also an electromagnetic wave. We have different electromagnetic waves and light is one among them. All electromagnetic waves travel with this velocity, so light also travels with this velocity. So by now you know that in structure of atom, if we talk about energy, that is always in the form of electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves consist of two waves, that is electrical and magnetic wave, moving perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation. After that, we'll see electromagnetic spectrum. We'll see what does electromagnetic spectrum means. Electromagnetic spectrum means electromagnetic radiation of different wavelength. See, if I talk about a wave, I think you people know very well that a wave is like this. The distance, this is crust and this is trough. The distance between a crust and a trough is represented by lambda and it is known as wavelength. Wavelength. So the distance between a crust and a trough is a wavelength. Bacho, here I would like to tell you one thing, that the energy of a radiation, energy of a electromagnetic wave, these waves, they have some energy associated with them, because you people know this thing very well, that light is a form of energy that makes a body visible. So they have energy associated with them. So energy of radiation is always inversely proportional to wavelength. The larger the wavelength, the lesser is the energy. The smaller the wavelength, the higher is the energy. ये याद रखना बेटा. Second thing, the number of cycles of these waves coming out per second is known as frequency. We represent it by nu. So it is the number of cycles per second. That's why frequency has got a dimension, that is second inverse. Wavelength has got a dimension that is meters. Its length, wavelength, so length we measure in meters. So frequency, number of cycles per second. Again, I would like to tell you that energy of radiation is directly proportional to frequency. The higher the frequency, the more will be the energy of the radiation. So by now we know electromagnetic radiation. We know that the larger the wavelength of an electromagnetic radiation, the lesser will be its energy. The higher the frequency, the higher will be the energy. So let us have a look at the electromagnetic spectrum. This is electromagnetic spectrum where you have got electromagnetic waves of different wavelength and frequencies. See, first they have given here is gamma radiation. So gamma rays, they are also made up of electrical and magnetic waves. They consist of electrical wave and magnetic wave moving perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation. Where from these gamma rays comes, they generally come due to radioactivity, due to nuclear disintegration. Whenever nucleus of an atom breaks, this energy comes out. Well, students, the question which comes to our mind, why this energy comes out, where this energy is stored, I give you one example for that. I think all of you know that the nucleus of an atom is positively charged. It consists of protons which are positively charged and neutrons which does not have any charge. So the nucleus of an atom consists of protons and neutrons. Neutrons are neutrals and neutral and protons are positively charged. The question comes to our mind, how come so many protons they can be accommodated in a nucleus? Because protons, when they are positively charged, they should repel each other. They should throw each other out of that nucleus. Because like charge, they repel each other. Protons, if they are positively charged, how come they can be accommodated in such a small space, which I am calling nucleus? They should repel each other. Actually, there is prominent, very high energy inside the nucleus which holds them together. We call it binding energy. This binding energy holds them together in the nucleus. So whenever a nucleus breaks, this binding energy comes out in the form of electromagnetic radiation. And that electromagnetic radiation, we call it gamma rays. Whenever a nucleus breaks, what comes out due to nuclear disintegration? Alpha particle, beta particle I'm saying, but gamma rays. Alpha particle is 2 proton plus 2 neutron. Beta are stream of fast moving electrons and gamma is energy. So gamma rays. If we reduce the frequency a bit or we increase the wavelength, as I'm increasing the wavelength, the energy will decrease to a small extent. I will get X-rays. So after gamma rays, we have X-rays. X-rays has got a slightly lower frequency and a larger wavelength. But X-ray itself are quite energized. You might have come across a situation where you have seen people going and getting their X-ray done in an hospital. Whenever we get a broken bone or something like that, often we are advised to get our X-ray done. So X-ray are very powerful rays. They are again electromagnetic rays. Their energy is so high that they can penetrate through our body. We have X-ray scanners on airport, railway stations, metro stations. After X-ray, if we reduce the frequency a little bit more, we get ultraviolet radiation. Ultraviolet radiation, you are quite aware of this. In summertime, often we see advertisement in which they talk about sunscreen and they say that it protects you from harmful ultraviolet radiation coming from sun. So sun is a major source of ultraviolet radiation on earth. Very high energized radiation. It causes skin cancer. Most of the harmful ultraviolet radiation is absorbed by the ozone layer. So ozone layer depletion, when it happens, the ultraviolet radiation comes on planet earth and it is quite harmful. Again, if we increase the wavelength a bit more, we come in the visible region. So visible light again is electromagnetic radiation that Vibgyor you can see over here. As such, they are not harmful. So you know very well about visible light, because you have studied about this chapter in your 10th standard light chapter, lenses and mirror and all. If I increase the wavelength more, if I reduce the frequency, I'll move on to the infrared radiation. Well, as far as this infrared radiation is concerned, this infrared radiation, we use this infrared radiation a lot. In a remote, AC remote, TV remote, we use infrared radiation. If we talk about night vision goggles, night vision, that is done in infrared radiation. Thermal scanning, that is in infrared radiation. आप लोगों ने आजकल देखा होगा, because of this COVID, they measured temperature by that infrared thermometer. So infrared radiation is measured wherever you have heat, wherever you talk about thermal scanners or heat, you have infrared radiation there. A certain animal, they have thermal vision. Like if I talk about snakes, they have thermal vision. If I talk about mosquito, they have thermal vision. They can detect this infrared radiation. Snakes are said to detect even 1/1000 part of a degree change in temperature. So this is what infrared radiation is. I give you one more example of infrared radiation. As I started this chapter, I told you that in case I take an iron rod and I heat it, if I take it out and I bring it close to my face, I cannot see the radiation coming out from that iron rod, but I can feel it. That is infrared radiation. You cannot see it, but you can feel it. If I increase the wavelength, I'll move on to the microwaves. Microwaves, they are responsible for mobile communication. All mobile communication is done in microwaves. You have microwave oven also. Microwave, you know the harmful effect of microwaves also. And as far the towers are concerned, the tower which radiate this microwave for mobile communication, they follow strict guidelines according to which within certain frequency they can radiate this microwave. So microwave, we use it in mobile communication and in microwave ovens. If I increase the wavelength further, I'll move on to the radio waves. Radio waves, they are responsible for long distance communication. Now suppose I want to communicate with a satellite which is far off from Earth. Means as far human race is concerned, they have already gone up to moon. So such a long distance communication, it is always carried out in radio waves. Microwaves cannot be used. So second example, one more example I want to give you. We have sent some rovers to Mars. Those rovers to Mars, they were controlled from planet Earth by these long radio waves. So radio waves, as far concerned, they are used for long distance communication. You might have heard about Voyager 1, Voyager 2. These are two satellites which were launched in 1970s. And they are the man-made object which has traveled the maximum distance. They have crossed our solar system. They have become interstellar. Still, we can communicate with them through radio waves. So radio waves, they are responsible for long distance communication. And this is what electromagnetic spectrum is. All these rays, no matter I talk about gamma, X-ray, ultraviolet, visible, infrared, microwave, radio waves, all of them, they travel with the same velocity, and the velocity is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. This is the velocity, what we call velocity of light. And this is all about electromagnetic spectrum. So in this class, by now we have seen what is energy in an atom. The energy is in the form of electromagnetic radiation. What is that electromagnetic radiation is? That is electrical and magnetic wave moving perpendicular to each other and perpendicular to the direction of propagation. All electromagnetic waves have same velocity, that is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. What are the different type of electromagnetic waves that we have done in electromagnetic spectrum? In your next session, the video which you will get next, I'll teach you absorption and emission spectrum. What is absorption spectrum and what is emission spectrum? Also, I'll teach you hydrogen spectrum. Some formula for hydrogen spectrum and hydrogen spectrum, which we are going to do in that. So that's all for this lecture. Thank you very much.